run it. All right. The Politically Challenged podcast is back. We got a big day ahead of us. A lot to go through. Last night, Kenosha went off. Going over, 2 people killed, 1 injured pretty badly. His arm was blown off, or pretty much blown off. So, a little bit more on the Jacob Blake situation. Came out today that Jacob Blake entered a woman's home and took her keys, and the woman called the police and said, hey, this guy's in my house. They must have known each other. And the officers were made aware that he had a felony, 2 felonies, or 1 felony and 2 misdemeanors, or 1 misdemeanor, I forgot what it was. And for the felony was aggravated rape. So big deal. They're on high alert. So that story about, Jacob Blake being this innocent guy is kind of bullshit in my eyes. So that was made aware of us this morning. Of course, they don't want to tell you that right away because they want this stuff to happen. They want buildings burned down. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. So last night, of course, the unrest was going to continue. And I noticed last night, looking through the Snapchat, that there were militia groups, guys with guns that weren't rioting, making their way into Kenosha. I said, this is interesting. And I woke up this morning and, well, what do you know? 2 got shot. 2 protesters, or what I would call rioters, definitely rioters. Anytime you're passed out, 11 o'clock, you're doing something bad. That's what my dad always said. So this guy, don't know his name. But he was interviewed earlier in the night, and I'll share that interview with you. He was 17 years old. He was one of the militia guys, and he supposedly right now is being accused of killing 2 people and shooting another. We'll go into those shootings. First, I want to just give you a take of what he sounds like and why he was down there.
Part of my job.
What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed, and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night, so what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle and guns. I need to protect myself, obviously, but I also have my med kit.
What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed.
So that was it. As you can see, the guy, he doesn't seem like a crazy bastard, but he killed someone, so now he is, kind of screwed. So this is aggravating. Everyone is saying that this guy went out and murdered these people, and well, the video is out there for one of the shootings, and he is being chased, tackled. Someone hits him with a skateboard. They have a clear-cut photo. He's hit right on top of the head with the skateboard. He turns around, he fires what would be called maybe a panic shot or a warning shot, and then he gets one guy and he shoots another one. That's the one where he got in the arm. And apparently, there's another video of a guy, you can't see it, but there's this other man chasing a gunman, guy with a long gun, maybe this kid, and the person turns around and shoots. It's from a long range, you can't really see it. Maybe one day they'll have shooting camera from the car dealership showing more, but he got hit in the head and he died. So tensions are high, but these militia guys, they said clearly that they were just there to defend the businesses, not let anybody burn stuff down, and this kid was attacked, at least in the second shooting, which we believe is the second shooting. And the cops were praising them being out there. The cops' hands are tied, and citizens do have rights. They do have rights to protect their own property. So everyone says this guy's going down for murder. Well, think twice. But I think that this is, country's going to explode here any second. Like I said, I think everyone should own a gun. Even if you don't like it, put it somewhere else, because things are going to get out of hand, especially with this election coming up. If Trump wins, the crazy liberals are going to say, oh, he rigged it. Trump loses. Who's to say that, not far right, but Trump himself, might have proof that the Democrats rigged it through the mail. Do I think that'll happen? Personally, yeah, but is there any way you could prove it? No. So you might just have to let it go. They'll fuck up in 4 years, and it'll go right back to Republicans. That's kind of the way it works. But that is what happened last night. 2 people dead. The Wisconsin governor, Kenosha County has requested 1,500 National Guard. President Trump spoke with the governor of Wisconsin today, and they are sending in federal troops and I wouldn't say troops, but they're federal officers with the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, for all you idiots out there that don't know what that is. But and the governor will be sending in the Wisconsin National Guard. And moving on from that, we have the Communist Party of the NBA deciding that they are going to cancel the games tonight. August 26th, Milwaukee was playing, Houston, Portland, LA, and they're canceling. And tonight at 8 p.m., they're having a meeting on whether they're going to cancel the whole season in response to Jacob Blake. So the facts are now we have Jacob Blake. He was a bad person. Aggravated rape, felony, okay? No matter what, I think you should get the chair for that. Borderline. Aggravated rape is probably one of the worst crimes you can commit. A lot of those women would rather just be killed than live with it after. So he's a piece of shit. And now everyone, they need a new hero because they found out that George Floyd was a drug addict. And he had a bunch of fentanyl in his system. And it turns out the medical examiner is saying, no, he died from an overdose. So he didn't even die from what they are saying he died from, which is the cop's knee on his neck. He was a drug addict. So the NBA canceling their games. What would you expect more? The NBA bitches about everything, but they take it up the ass from China like it's nobody's business. They're hypocrites. It's funny. I got more to say about this NBA, but I think the reason that a lot of these NBA players and NFL players are frustrated is because they don't lack the intelligence to have a solution to this problem. Have they ever considered why this is happening? Are they considering, do they look at the statistics and see that, no, black people aren't being off by the police at a higher rate than white people? Let's do the math here, since I got some stats pulled up. So far in 2020, this is from Statistica.com. Number of people shot to death by the police. 2020, white people, 215, black people, 111. Okay. That is statistically higher for blacks, because they make up about 18% of the population, or 15, and whites are about 55 or something, 60. But when you go shooting over to the FBI database, violent crime percentage of all the violent crime in the United States, whites commit 58%, blacks commit 37%. Okay, so if whites take up 60% of the country, they're committing crime on, a statistically sound base, the way they should commit crime. Blacks, on the other hand, they're committing it twice, 2.5 more. So I'm sorry, I'm not getting it here. Why do you think they're being killed by the police more? Is because they're involved in violent crime. People that get killed by the police are usually involved in violent crime. See, the people in the NBA, they don't get it. They're not smart enough. None of them went to college. They did for 1 year. Then they were out. They didn't have to do anything in high school because they were phenoms. They're just stupid and they're uneducated and they should shut up. But then again, they're making a lot of money, so I would like to be in their situation. But canceling the games, you're just going to... What are you going to do? Solve racism by canceling the games? Yeah. And this isn't even racism. This is why, even I'm falling into the fucking trick. I'm falling into the trick. At first I defended, the George Floyd being killed. Yeah, it was kind of messed up. But, now I see that, this guy was a drug addict. He was resisting arrest. He asked to be taken out of the car. He was taken out of the car. He was moving like he was fucking a crazy person. And they resisted him by putting their knee on his neck, which is an appropriate protocol in some situations. Do I think things should have been differently? Yeah, but he was on a fucking speedball. He was on a speedball, for Christ's sakes. It's disappointing what's happening. Did I think this was going to happen? Yeah. I believe that there's certain people in this country that will never be happy, no matter what happens. Even if they get reparations, or round 2 of reparations, or round 3, or round 4, or round 5. A lot of people don't know this, but welfare, I should say a lot of affordable housing was created under the, guilt of blacks being treated differently. This is just going to be a revolving circle. They just need to start checking, their own community. But the guy could have eliminated all this by not resisting arrest, not wrestling with officers. A taser was involved. But, of course, nope. He couldn't do that. So he got shot, which is unfortunate. But now we got all the, the idiots in the country burning shit down, demanding change. They want the police, they want to change the way they police. No, they just want people to be able to get away with more crime, believe it or not. They want to make society scared so they can implement a bigger government. If you're scared, they can implement a bigger government and they'll have more control. And what is the way of, perfect way of doing that? Well, have people riot. So, moving on here. Today was frustrating. Reading all this. But I just wanted to go over, especially the statistics, this myth that black people are being killed at a higher rate than white people. Unarmed this year, I believe it's 19 white people killed and 11 black. At least that was when George Floyd. That is not that statistically off, especially considering blacks commit way more violent crime. Statistically, they're prone to the violent crime. And moving on here. So here's a video I want to play for you. Just how crazy things have gotten. In the video, it's somewhere, I believe, in New York or maybe on the West Coast. A group of Black Lives Matter protesters coming up to an outdoor seating area at a diner or restaurant and demanding everyone put up their fists in support of Black Lives Matter. And there's a young couple, the race doesn't matter, but they're white or maybe Hispanic. They don't put up their fists. And someone comes up to them, and I just want you to hear the audio if you can hear it. If you can't, I apologize. Let's go. Yeah, so that's that. Just completely harassing those people. Good for them for not giving in. They're blowing a loud horn in their face. These people are, they're communists. They don't even, they're uneducated. They got screwed over by going to college, losing a bunch of money. They deserve what's coming to them, whatever that is. So, also just moving on, just a few other news stories. Something I saw that Trump on his troll master, he calls out Biden. He wants drug tests, both of them, before the debates. And I think this is great because, well, first of all, now Trump wouldn't do this if he was actually on amphetamines, which I think most people think he is. He's so jacked up all the time. He's old, and if he's not, he's a superhuman. And when Biden declines, it'll get people talking. But I don't have a problem necessarily with my political party people doing uppers. It will help you get stuff done a little bit quicker. Again, tonight, RNC's on. We have Dana White speaking tonight. He's the president of the UFC. he's one to not give a shit what people think. Thank God we still have people like him. I'm just kind of curious to see what other kind of high profile people are secret Republicans. I got my eyes on that dude from Avengers, Chris Pratt, yeah, and the dude Jim from The Office. I think they're both big Republican guys. Also, just touching on any of you in Texas, Louisiana, prayers are with you. You guys got a big old Cat 4 coming your way. Supposed to hit tonight, tomorrow. 14-foot storm surge. They're making a big deal out of this. Stay safe, stay dry. And lastly here, before I'm out for the day, I just want to touch on a few things going on over in the China area. South China Sea. This article reads, South China Sea tension rises amid U.S. blacklisting report of Beijing missile fire warning shot. So the U.S. on Wednesday announced it blacklisted Chinese officials and business executives involved in the military buildup of the disputed South China Sea, further ratcheting up tensions in the region ahead of the November election. Basically, the South China Sea is a sea that goes past each country in the world. It supposedly owns up to 10 or 20 miles outside of their country into the water. Past that, it's not owned. The thing about the South China Sea is Japan thinks they got it. China thinks they got it. None of them actually have it. The U.S. is there. So today, Beijing fired missiles, including an aircraft carrier killer, into the sea as a warning to the United States. China claimed that a U-2 spy plane entered a no-fly zone without permission during a naval drill in the Bohai Sea. I'm assuming that's right in the South China Sea. A military source told the South China Morning Post the Pentagon has given few details, but said a U-2 flew within the accepted international rules and regulations governing aircraft flights. China is pushing limits. Everyone hates China. I don't know one person that likes China. They got their ass kicked by the Japanese in almost every war. I just want to state that. So the Chinese do suck at war. They might be a little bit better. America's pretty soft now. I think Japan's pretty soft. So we'll see exactly what else happens with the China situation. I had heard an article that came out that China launched China social media campaign COVID. So Washington Post, I don't know, are they right wing or left wing? I don't want you guys to try to disprove me or something. But I saw somewhere that China ramped up their disinformation during the COVID, trying to get countries to shut down. Basically explaining that this was a terrible disease, getting people scared. So there could be real repercussions here if they had a part in destroying our economy. I mean, thousands of lives ruined. Thousands of people commit suicide. Us shutting down is probably the worst thing that could have happened. We don't even know about the virus still. I haven't even met one person that's had it. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Fuck China too. No one likes China. They're pushing buttons that they don't want to push. Because we have Trump in office, and he's not going to take shit from China. He might take a little shit. Biden will let China take a dump on his chest and get away with it. Trump, no. So that's something to keep your eye on. That would be bad. I mean, we got all these racial problems in this country that are being propped up by the media because they want Trump to lose the election. You could thank Obama for all this too. Racial tension, I remember it was getting bad in like 2014. So it was them that, created this problem. And this is the thing. They never want it to be figured out anyways. Because once it's figured out, the Republicans will win for the rest of life. Rest of time. They want this division in the country. And that's the only reason Democrats get votes is because they go out and they say, "Oh, we're for the, Latino and the black guy and the woman," and say the white man is bad. I don't know where this sudden hatred for white men came from. I honestly don't. I know there's a few douchebags, but. There's hatred for, I can come up with some hatred for other races too. And let's not forget who modernized the world. It was the white man. Europe started to modernize the world. Everyone's just catching up now. Parts of Asia and, Africa and South America, they don't even know what running water is. So let's not shit on the guy that, created such a great, life for us. And I'm not saying this as, some sort of racist guy or anything. I got, black friends. But they agree, where's this hatred come from? Well, the hatred comes from the division from the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is trying to divide us like it's nobody's business, and it's working. It's really, really, really working. They're trying to divide us by race, and they're trying to divide us by ideology. The people in their party are fucking crazy, though. But, this has been going on a while. Things will move on. I think there will be some sort of civil conflict, civil war. Who knows? It would be over very quickly. I could tell you that. But tomorrow, big show. I know there's going to be some big things going down in Kenosha. I'm actually going to be going over the RNC tomorrow, and we're going to take a look at the policy of the RNC, take a look at some of the speakers over the past week that I've talked. Tomorrow is the end of the RNC, and we all know how the Democratic National Convention went last week. It was a little bit of a disaster. They had celebrities there and everything, and now the Democrats are accusing the Republicans of not doing it right because they have normal working class people there, and it's just a disaster. So we'll see you tomorrow, and this is again the Politically Challenged podcast with your host Brady Nova, and we'll see you tomorrow.